Does body count matter for men to you?
Does body count matter for men? For me, yes.
Why?
I don't like the idea, or maybe this is just maybe even childish. I don't like the idea that you could possibly feel like you've had a greater sexual experience outside of me. It's a thing, because I feel like there's not a part of you, but it's kind of like there's a standard. I'm not saying I can't meet the standard, or that I will never be able to, or that we're not going to have great sex, whatever else, but I just don't really like feeling like you're trying to recreate a sexual experience that you had with somebody else with me.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
I think guys are so much easier to please. I don't think you have to worry about that.
You don't think so?
I don't think you. I think to get a guy, you don't have to be the best sex he's ever had. I think as long as he's satisfied, which is relatively easy, then I think you're good.
Noted.
Maybe I should say easier than women. I don't know how easy it is to satisfy guys.
But in the same manner, if we are going back to the main question, I also don't like, I like an element, I like somebody who's hard to get. Obviously, have enough experience to be able to find yourself, know what you like, and know your way around a woman's body. But in the same regard, I don't like the idea of walking into a room with my partner and it's like everybody's pretty much had him.
I get that. So here's my question on that, because I understand that. What if you walked into a room, right? You're in a relationship with this guy, and maybe he's had sex with 3 or 4 women in that room. They all wanted a relationship out of him, and you're the one that got the commitment. Does that make you feel good or not?
Picked, guys.
Is it? I don't know. Like,
I mean,
we all want to be picked.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I kind of downplayed with my reaction. I kind of downplayed with my reaction. It would definitely stroke my ego to know that, well, you know, y'all just got some dick and I got the ring, whatever else.
Right.
But in the same manner, it's kind of just like, especially for me, I think a lot about the kind of women that these 4 women are. Like, who are they? How are they? How do they move? And if they don't kind of reflect the way I see myself and how I am, I'll be thinking, oh, well, like,
but that's why he's not with them.
Yeah, I know, but obviously, with maturity, you realize that you shouldn't be having quote unquote casual sex with people that you don't like. So it's kind of like, if this person doesn't meet your standards and doesn't feed ABC or tick were you that desperate to just do that? It's like,
well, when guys are looking for sex, their standards are much lower.
Which is fair, but I'm saying that I would like to know that somebody has a degree of sexual discipline where they're not immediately dropping their standard just to have sex. And then if you're having sex with a lot of women, I don't know that all these women meet your standards. So it's kind of like you were just pretty much having sex with everyone. And then where does that leave me? Even though you wife me, it was kind of like, oh, wait.
Well, I agree. I agree. I do agree, actually. I agree with that. But when you say meet his standard for what?
This is where my spirituality comes into place, because it's like people that complement your spirit, people that complement your intentions for life, like just people who mirror who I see, like what we have. If that person doesn't meet that, it's kind of like, why did you have sex? Like, why did you allow that into your spirit?
Okay, so out of 100 people, how many people would you say like, what did you say? Complement your spirit? What did you say?
Complement your spirit.
Okay, so out of 100 people, how many people would you say complement your spirit out of 100 people?
Out of 100 people?
Yeah.
It's a very small percentage.
Yeah.
Out of 100 people?
Yeah.
Complement my spirit,
yeah. You meet them and like, this person complements my spirit out of 100 people.
Less than 10, maybe like 5.
So let's say 5.
Yeah.
Let's say that's the same for guys.
Okay.
Right, I have 100 women that he meets. Only 5 of them actually complement his spirit. But we know guys want to have sex.
Okay.
So if he's not taking her seriously, should he only limit himself to who he feels a spiritual connection with, or is he going to be open to other people because he doesn't have that requirement for if he's just looking for fun? Does that make sense?
I completely appreciate what you're saying, and I understand why a man could have a lot of quote unquote bodies, but in the same manner, when you spoke earlier about what I want from a man is somebody who sooner rather than later adopted the mentality that he has to have sexual discipline, because the sexual interaction you have with people do play into your spirit. And for me, that's very important. And I don't want you bringing that into my relationship with you.
I completely agree. I have another reason why I think women should care about a guy's body count.
Okay.
Because the more women a man has been with,
okay,
the harder it is for him to be satisfied with one.
Okay.
Which means he is more likely to cheat the longer you're in the relationship.
Okay. Maybe that's where I was going with the whole
Maybe
comparing.
it is,
yeah. That makes
and
sense.
that goes for men and women. Like, the more partners someone has had, the more likely infidelity is likely to occur statistically.
Fair.
I think that when it comes to infidelity, though, I think women are more forgiving than men. I think they have been. Do you think?
I think women pretend.
What do you mean pretend?
I think there's a level of security that you tend to experience, obviously, when you spend a long time with somebody.
Yes.
And it's much easier for you to kind of like, sometimes if you haven't adopted the true nature of forgiveness, put it to the back burner and say, do you know what? Like, do I want to risk leaving my relationship for this instance? Like, do I feel secure with myself enough to be able to walk away? Like, is there life after all of these things start raising? So you say to yourself, okay, for that reason, I'm going to let it go. But you tend to see the after effects of the fact that they haven't forgiven you or forgotten throughout the relationship, because they're either showing up in a way that's insecure, you know, being a bit bitter towards you. You used to get dinner 3 times a day, now you only get it once, or I don't know, that level of respect just isn't there anymore. And I think women know how to dress up forgiveness in a way that makes men feel like, okay, we can still do this thing. But that's where you tend to see that after infidelity rises in a relationship, after a few years, people tend to break up because a man just feels like, I'm forever trying to get you to just let go of this instance. Like, did you really let it go?
Very true. That's true.
Pow.